Your offensive line situation might have sparked NFL history, with the Browns being forced to make a decision that has never been made in the NFL before its full existence, bro. That is a team having to replace all 5 offensive linemen along the offensive line front. That's replacing everybody, all your starters for the following season. Now, there's a report that is coming out that sabotage.
This game right here is by a wide margin the single biggest moment of Shedeur's football life. I'm not predicting that he'll be terrible. I think this is actually a pretty good spot for him. I am predicting, though, if he's terrible, and he was terrible last week, that more likely than not, this is the only start he ever gets for any team. We know definitively no team loved him coming out of school. Nobody. There is not a player teams love that is available in the 5th round. This is Shedeur's moment. The league's gonna keep moving. As Marlo Stanfield would say, do it or don't, but I got places to be.
Imagine working your entire life for one moment. Every early morning practice, every late night film session, every single rep in the weight room when nobody was watching, every sacrifice your family made so you could stand on that field and prove yourself to the world. Now imagine that at the exact moment you're supposed to shine, the people standing right next to you want you to fail. Not just fail, they want you gone. That's not a movie. That's not a storyline from some drama series on Netflix. That's what allegedly happened to Shedeur Sanders, one of the most talented quarterbacks to enter the NFL draft in years. And there's audio to prove it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna feel something, and you're gonna understand why this story matters way beyond football.
Sanders fires from the end zone, open! Leaping up and grab! 3rd and 10. Sanders looking deep. He's got Bond out there, drops! 8, Bears bring pressure. Sanders throwing, looking for Bond, over the middle, drops it in! This
time in the red zone. Off the boot, Sanders connects with
tight ends here on 2nd down.
Look at it.
In trouble. Now steps back, get away.
Like that.
Got it. Complete at the 15. Second possession.
Bruh, this clip alone, I don't want to hear nothing from Cleveland media, bruh. This clip alone is going to kill all the debate, bruh. I don't know why.
Shedeur Sanders just had the most humiliating day in NFL history, and I'm not even talking about the score. First, the internet is convinced he was caught wearing a thong mid-game. Yes, you heard that right. Cameras caught a wardrobe malfunction that has social media losing its mind. But the embarrassment didn't stop at his underwear. The Titans decided to bully him all day. Jeffrey Simmons sacked him and immediately mocked Shedeur's signature watch flex. Shedeur tried to flex back after a touchdown, but that backfired immediately. Later in the game, after a fumble, the entire Titans defense stood over the ball and mocked the watch celebration together. It was total disrespect. But the ultimate betrayal came from his own coach. Down by 2 points with the game on the line, Kevin Stefanski actually benched Shedeur for the final 2-point conversion play. He threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns, but his coach didn't trust him to get 2 yards. So be honest, what's worse? The thong allegations, the mockery, or the coach benching him?
Before we get into the audio, before we talk about what was said and who said it, you need to understand exactly who Shedeur Sanders is, because his story didn't start at the NFL draft. It started long before that. Shedeur Sanders is the son of Deion Sanders, one of the greatest athletes this country has ever produced. 8-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, a man who played both NFL and MLB at the same time, a man known simply as Prime Time. But here's the thing people forget. Being Deion Sanders' son is not a shortcut. It's a target on your back from day one. From the moment Shedeur picked up a football, people were watching, judging, waiting for him to fail so they could say he only made it because of his dad. That kind of pressure would crush most people. It made Shedeur stronger. At Colorado, under his father's coaching, Shedeur Sanders didn't just play, he performed. He threw for over 4,000 yards in a single season. He took hits that would have ended most quarterbacks' confidence, and he got back up every single time. He led his team through moments where the whole country doubted them, and he never once backed down. He came into the 2025 NFL Draft as a legitimate first-round quarterback prospect, not because of his last name, because of his tape, because of his work, because of who he proved himself to be under pressure. And yet, even before he heard his name called, something was already happening behind closed doors that nobody was talking about. Here's where the story takes a turn that honestly left a lot of people speechless. Audio leaked. And on that audio, NFL linemen were allegedly recorded saying, "Let him die," referring to Shedeur Sanders.
Now, we're seeing multiple mock drafts come out. Now, this one is actually from the Browns. 5 predictions for the Cleveland Browns, second round. So this is a second round mock up here. Following the conclusion of the 2026 season Super Bowl, the order of the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft was set, barring future trades. The Browns' second round pick will be at number 39, so they will be entering at number 39. Now, the Browns have a total of 10 draft picks in the 2026 NFL draft, including 2 first-round picks, which are damn good picks, as well as their own picks in the 2nd through 5th round. And who do they got? Matt Miller predicts that a linebacker will be picked up, and I believe this is the 2nd round.
Let that sink in for a second. Not let him struggle, not don't go easy on him, but let him die. Now, people in football will tell you that trash talk is part of the game. They'll say linemen are physical, that practices get intense, that words get thrown around. And sure, football is a contact sport. It's aggressive by nature. We all know that. But there is a massive difference between competitive trash talk and wishing harm on a young man who is simply trying to earn his place in the league. This wasn't said during the heated game in the 4th quarter. This wasn't said in the middle of a rivalry matchup with millions of dollars on the line. This was said about a prospect, a young man showing up to prove himself, putting his body on the line, trying to fulfill a dream he's worked toward his whole life. And the people who were supposed to be professional, who were supposed to represent the standard of the NFL, allegedly said those words like it was nothing, like his life meant nothing. When this audio started making rounds, the reaction from fans was immediate. People were hurt, people were angry, and honestly, people were not surprised, and that might be the most heartbreaking part of all. You know what's louder than that audio? The silence that followed it. No major press conference, no formal apology from the league, no accountability that matched the weight of what was allegedly said, just noise for a few days, and then the machine kept moving. That's what hurts so many people who heard this story, not just the words, but how quickly America tried to move on from them. Think about this for a moment. If audio leaked of anyone saying, "Let him die," about a young white quarterback prospect, this country would have stopped. It would have been the only story on every major network for weeks. There would have been congressional hearings talked about. There would have been sponsors pulling out, coaches losing jobs. But when it's a young black quarterback, a man who came in already carrying the weight of his father's legacy, the weight of representation, the weight of a community watching him, somehow the story doesn't get the same volume. Somehow America finds a way to look the other way. And Shedeur Sanders, to his credit, kept his head up. He didn't spiral. He didn't post angry rants. He didn't let the world see him break. He kept working. He kept preparing. He showed up every single day like the professional he is. That kind of strength, that's not just talent, that's character, and it deserves to be recognized.
Do you think Shedeur will be better than Kyler Murray's been in his career?
I think he got the potential to be.
Okay.
To me, he got to clean up the decision making, and that's a hard thing to do. It's not easy, but I do love the confidence that he has in himself. You know, for somebody that, I think it's just so much pressure that comes with trying to be successful, to be the successful quarterback in Cleveland, and that for some reason it just don't faze him.
I agree with that.
He carries himself like he carries himself like, I'm that deal, y'all just don't know it yet.
Right.
And I like that.
He's used to the spotlight.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I think that's what you need. Like, I really do.
There's a pressure that comes with being the Browns quarterback that he doesn't.
It don't bother him not one. He'll talk his trash, and it is what it is.
Right.
But I think like I said, he got to clean up the decision making.
It's a little bit unfair to keep going to Sanders. He's the third string quarterback. No other third string quarterback in the league gets any media attention. Nobody cares about that guy. No one's talking to him. No one's asking him about anything. But he's Shedeur Sanders. He's a massively popular person and comes from a legacy name in the NFL. And if you're watching on TV or on YouTube or online, he's not answering or talking. He's doing he's miming answers.
But why? Though?
I don't
Is there
have
any
an answer
reason
for you.
that came out why he's doing that?
I guess so. He can't say the wrong thing. Or, hey, I don't want to be a distraction, or don't come talk to me, go talk to the other guys. But then just turn your back and say, I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Either answer the questions or don't talk. But to mime answers is a really strange place.
Who was turning their back last night? Was it Jazz Chisholm or somebody?
Yeah, Chisholm was bent out of shape. He wasn't in the lineup last night.
And he did a post-game interview, and he was completely facing his stall. Like, he was arranging the clothes in his stall. Yeah. And they were asking questions, and he would, like, turn back and be like, I guess.
Well, and
those are two of the most bizarre interviews on the same day.
Yes, within 24 hours of each other.
Let's have an honest conversation about what this moment reveals. Because this isn't just about one audio clip. This is about a culture. The NFL has had these conversations before about the way black quarterbacks are evaluated differently at the draft, about how their leadership is questioned more, about how their off-field behavior is scrutinized more closely, about how the moment they show any confidence, any swagger, they get labeled as difficult or not a team player. Shedeur Sanders came in confident. He came in knowing his worth. He wore jewelry. He had style. He carried himself like someone who believed in himself. And somehow, that became a problem for people. Since when is self-belief a red flag for a quarterback? Patrick Mahomes has swagger. Josh Allen has swagger. Lamar Jackson, who just keeps proving every doubter wrong year after year, has swagger. And those men are celebrated for it. But when Shedeur showed that same energy, suddenly there were whispers, suddenly there were concerns, suddenly anonymous sources were saying he might be hard to coach. And now, allegedly, there were linemen on a mic saying words that should never be directed at any human being. This isn't football anymore. This is something deeper. And the NFL has a responsibility, a real meaningful responsibility to address it, not with a statement, not with a tweet, with action. Here's what I want you to take away from Shedeur Sanders' story, and this is the part that really matters. He didn't quit. After everything, the criticism, the doubt, the leaked audio, the people actively rooting against him, Shedeur Sanders showed up. He kept performing. He kept trusting his preparation. He kept representing his family, his father's legacy, and every young kid watching him from a small town with a big dream. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Because it would have been so easy to let this break him. It would have been understandable. Nobody would have blamed him for letting the weight of all of it slow him down. But he didn't. And that tells you everything you need to know about who Shedeur Sanders really is. He is not just a quarterback. He is proof that you can face the worst that people throw at you, the most vile, the most unfair, the most painful, and still rise. His father, Deion Sanders, built a legacy on defying expectations, on being told he couldn't and proving over and over again that he absolutely could. And his son, watching everything Prime built, absorbing every lesson, is writing his own version of that same story. And it's only chapter 1. This story needed to be told, not because it's drama, not because it's controversy, but because silence is how things stay broken. When we talk about what happened to Shedeur Sanders, when we refuse to let this audio just disappear into the news cycle, we're saying something. We're saying that his story matters, that his dignity matters, that the way young athletes are treated, especially young black athletes, matters. So share this video, not for the views. Share it because someone in your life needs to hear this story. Share it because accountability only happens when enough people refuse to look away. into Shedeur Sanders. If somehow, someday you come across this, just know that millions of people are in your corner. We see your work, we see your heart, we see your resilience, and we believe in you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And drop in the comments, do you think the NFL handled this situation the right way? Let me know exactly what you think. I read every single one.